Okay, guys, it's me. Number one most woke empty house business guy on YouTube. And today I want to share a habit that only extremely rich and wealthy people like myself can enjoy. This is a habit that I don't think any of you will be able to fund. It's like croquet, polo, or competitive swimming, or collecting fine woods. You just can't do it unless you're super successful like me. And that is playing Super Smash Bros. And because you guys will probably never reach this level of success in your life, I want to share with you what am I saying? I want to share with you 5 lessons I've learned playing this game way too much, and also why I play it, that have helped me make a lot of money. These are 5 truths that it really helped reinforce for me, that have helped me so much in the last 6 months. And if you bring these into your life, it's going to help you not only make a lot of money, but just get good at anything. And the secret to making money in business is getting good at it. So let's begin. And so when you pick up a hobby like this, for example, Tobias Lutke plays a lot of StarCraft. He's the CEO of Shopify, and he's doing all right. He's made some cash. And when I was watching him describe his hobby and all the lessons he's learned from StarCraft, it kind of helped me discover this hobby that's helped me discover a lot of things about growth and etc. Because frankly, you can learn a lot of lessons and learn about how to think from other things other than the thing you're doing. So let's talk about the 5 things that really helped me out. So the first thing, most importantly, that I discovered from this is, I've always known this to a certain extent, but a lot of entrepreneurs and myself have a lot of trouble with this because it doesn't feel good. But in order to get better at anything, in order to improve anything, you have to get worse. So for example, in Super Smash Bros. When you're playing, you can get to a certain level with gimmicks and doing silly shit. And it will get you to a certain point. It will get you to a certain level of wins. And eventually you're going to plateau. And in order to improve and get past the level you're at, you actually have to go down a notch. Because as soon as you start doing things past gimmicks and silly shit, you're going to lose where you're at right now. You're going to slide backwards. And this applies to every level. The better you get, you're going to hit a next plateau. This applies in business tenfold. Usually the reason why people can't start a business is because they're at a certain point in their life, and in order to start a business, you have to go backwards. It's extremely difficult for entrepreneurs who get really good at business to grow their business further or hit another level because you have to go backwards to get better. This kept me locked in a plateau for almost 8 years. I mean, from the start of my career, I got to $1 million a year pretty quickly, and then it was really hard for me to go and 5x that. I wasn't able to do more than 2x that, 3x that for many years because of this exact reason. And with Hi-Rest in particular, I want to break to the next level in my business career, and I've had to go backwards a little bit. I've had to stop doing a lot of things that kept me at the level I was at in order to build a software company that has a lot more longer term vision and goal. So that's for number 1. You have to be okay going backwards to improve. Next, what people do in business constantly is something that people do in Super Smash Bros. A whole lot, and it's a really easy bad habit to fall into. In Super Smash Bros., if you go and play against somebody that absolutely tosses your salad, I don't think that's the right term for that. Stomps you. How about that one? I don't think if you go against someone who pleasures you in a gross way. But if you go against someone who is significantly better than you, most players do, and what your instinct is going to be is to avoid that player. If you go against the person who's playing a character that you hate playing against, your initial knee-jerk reaction is avoid that person and find someone you can beat. And that is the best way possible to make sure you never, ever grow. See, what happens in business and what happens in Super Smash Bros. Is you're going to try and avoid the things that are painful. And the true path to growth is grinding out those losses as much as you possibly can, because you learn more from mistakes, you learn more from losing than you do winning. And so what happens when a lot of entrepreneurs get started is they get in the business and they get some initial wins, and then they won't do anything else that they will lose at because they want to stick with that winning. And so they never ever learn anything. They never ever grow. So for example, again, at the start of my career, I didn't really have trouble getting started like most people do, because my situation was very painful. So I had to start a business. Most people never get to that point. And the reason why most people can't start is they don't want to grind those losses. I was cool grinding the losses at first, but then when I started winning, I got stuck in this routine, and I wouldn't ever go into areas where I was uncomfortable. I wouldn't do things where I knew I was going to lose. Where in business, and especially growing as an entrepreneur, you have to be obsessed with the losses. You want to lose as much as you possibly can, because that's where you get really, really wise. That's where you start growing, and that's where when you start doing the painful things that you mess up the first, second, third, fourth, fifth time, that's when you start to grow. So for example, in SaaS, I've had my ass handed to me more times than I can count. I've had some successes too, but I've had a lot of painful moments, a lot of bad hires, a lot of bad things, but those things are what make me a good SaaS entrepreneur now. You have to be willing to grind out the losses. Just like in Super Smash Bros., you have to be willing. The fastest way to improve is doing the hard things that don't feel good as much as you can possibly bear. The next thing this has really reinforced for me, and the reason why I'm using this is because I've known these things, but when you see these things popping up in multiple different pursuits that you're going after, you start to realize these are not just hunches that you have, these are truths. So in Smash, what a lot of people try and do is fancy stuff. They come in and they start trying to do everything they see on a highlight reel, and they start trying to learn these complicated combos, and they start trying to do all these really hard, excessive things, these outlier things. And they think that's what makes a good player. And what makes a good player in Smash is learning the absolute basics and being able to do the absolute basics consistently. That's what's going to get you 95% of your results. So, for example, in Smash, if you hold the center of the map, that's going to give you a large advantage in the map. It's such a simple concept. You just hold the center of the map, but it has a lot of nuance to it, going back and forth. And so if you're on the edge of the map when you're fighting, you're at a disadvantage and you're naturally going to get punched in the face a lot more. It's such a basic thing, and nobody really focuses on that when they get into Smash originally. Now I know what you're thinking, okay, that's great, Alex, but how do the nuances of Smash apply to business? It's the same thing in fucking business. Okay? Every single time when I see people running ads, and by the way, my ads have generated over $20 million in the last 2 years, so I'm pretty decent at generating ad revenue. My ads are always the most basic. If I go to any ad events, if I go to look at anyone's ad copy, I look at their funnels, I always have the most basic ads and the most basic targeting. That's because I do the fundamentals of building an offer and building a funnel and picking the right message that customers want to buy exceptionally well. And so then I always work with entrepreneurs, or I'll talk with other business owners, and their shit's insane. They're doing all this advanced targeting. They have like this scientific PhD level stuff, and their ads never scale. Their ads never go to the levels that mine or other entrepreneurs have got at, because they're focused on all those excessive things, just like that Smash Bros player who's trying to work on this crazy combo when they can't hold neutral. They can't hold the center of the map. Entrepreneurs, they go and work on all these crazy things, all this crazy copywriting, presentation, having a really huge YouTube following, speaking on stage, but they can't create a good offer to save it. They can't make a good product. Like, the core of having a good business is having a good product that makes customers happy. The same thing like holding the center of the map in Super Smash Bros. Is the key to not getting punched in the face. But people completely fail at both those things. So when you're starting off in business, you need to realize that the cores of business is where you're going to get 95% of your results. So focus on the basics and then hyper-optimize things. Then hyper-optimize one thing at a time. Don't do it the other way around. So this is common knowledge in fighting games. It's pretty common. It's called having a main. It's the next thing I want to talk about. So in Super Smash Bros., there's 70 characters. There's a lot of ass grabbing you can fall into. There's a lot of shenanigans you can waste your time at trying to figure out all 70 characters and play them. That's insane. Who would do that? If you're going to play something competitively, you want to get good at one character, right? And you're just going to do that one character. And the thing is, if you watch in business, it would be the same logic, right? Why would getting better in something over here be completely different over here? It's because it's not. When I see people get in the business, they start like 3 different businesses, have 4 different traffic sources, have 16 different products. And it's like the guy playing Super Smash Bros. And playing all 70 characters at once. It's glue-eating stupid. You shouldn't do it. And so when I scroll through Facebook, I constantly see people like, I'm starting a podcast, I'm having an event, and I just wrote a book. What the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? How are you going to be the best author, have a good Joe Rogan level podcast, and like hold good events while having a good product and training a team, and then also creating the vision for what? That doesn't make any sense. When you play football, do you play offensive lineman, quarterback, and receiver at the same time? No, but because no one's there to smack your pee-pee in business, you think it's a good idea. The smacking will come eventually. But look, in Smash, the way you go and win at tournaments, especially when you're getting started, is you want to play one character and know the ins and outs of that character better than anybody else and how to go against other characters with that character. You just have to master one thing. Even when you're improving at that character, the best way to improve is to focus on one aspect of that character's game at a time instead of trying to do 10 different things. So, the point I'm trying to make right here is in business, you want to focus on only one thing because you're not going to be good at 2 things. You're not going to be better at one person who's playing only one character when you're playing 3 characters. And so you're going to end up losing to that person. unless the character matchup is really good. But the difference is in business, you can really slant things in your favor by playing only one thing. So it's doubly true inside of business. I explained that terribly, but just take the point. It's true. Let's go from there. So this next one is actually the most important, and I don't know why I made it number 5, but I guess I'm hiding treasure for you guys to make it deep into the video. So when you're playing Smash, it is so insanely important not to focus on your wins and not to view losses as losses, not to focus on your ups and downs, but to focus only on growth and use growth as your determining factor on how well you're doing. Because if you don't do this, what's going to happen is when you win, but you haven't grown, you're going to feel satisfaction. And when you lose, you're going to take it way too seriously, and you're going to start locking yourself into things that are not good for your overall growth. And so your real goal is to get really good at this thing. But you're never going to get really good at it because you're taking it too damn seriously. You're taking the winning and losing too damn seriously. The same thing applies in business when people are only focused on money. Now, not most entrepreneurs aren't like me. I don't really even try to make money anymore. The goal is to build cool big things. If you make a lot of money, all you can do is buy a bigger box to live in and a car that's shaped a certain way. After a certain amount of money made, there's nothing you can really buy that's going to give you sustainable happiness like building cool things and building a great team. That being said, I realize that most people's goal is to make money, but the problem is when you focus on money, you're focusing on your wins and your loses and not how much you're growing, not what you're doing in the big scheme of things. If you look at the most profitable businesses out there long term, if you look at businesses that are worth $1 billion, they sometimes take 5-10 years to make money. And it's because what they're doing is they're focusing on growth. They're focusing on the long term. And when you do this, your ups and downs for the day, your ups and downs for the week, your ups and downs for the month and year, that you don't really take them seriously. It's all about moving in the general right direction and saying, oh man, we did way better than we did at this thing. We've done this better. We're communicating better as a team. And that's what you need to judge your success by. When I look back now, prior in my career, my determinant for success is that I make more money than last month. And so I keep doing the same shit that kept me at the level I was at, and I keep doing the same business models that kept me at the level I was at and prevented me from growing as an entrepreneur. Now when I look back, I don't look at the pay stub. What I'm going to look at is, has the team improved? Have I improved as an entrepreneur? Have I improved as a CEO? Because if you keep going and improving, you keep racking up those growth points, eventually the money is going to follow. Eventually the business growth is going to follow, just like in Super Smash Bros. If you're playing a match and you're thinking, okay, well, the determinant of whether this match was good is whether I win or lose, you're not going to grow because you're going to stick to the things that keep you winning and avoid the things that make you lose. Whereas if you focus on the match and say, well, I'm going to focus on short hopping and executing this one move and breaking this one habit that's been holding me back, you might actually lose the match because you're focusing on things that are hard for you. They're difficult. You're not good at them. You haven't improved on them to the level you need to yet. But you're going to improve at those things, and you do that for a month, you're going to be a substantially better player, just like in entrepreneurship, where if you focus on the actual growth-oriented things, you're going to be a much stronger entrepreneur in a month or so. Finally, last one, and I've talked way too long, so I'm just going to wrap the video up, but stop going for haymakers. Here's why. So in Super Smash Bros, if you're constantly throwing out haymakers, the first time you throw out your haymaker, your strongest move, and it catches the opponent off guard, it's going to hit really hard, but it's probably not going to be the best time to throw out that move. For example, at the beginning of the match, if you notice an opponent is making a mistake a lot of times, and then you punish that mistake super hard, well, it's not going to do much, because in Super Smash Bros, the lower their HP is at, the least likely you are to kill them. You want to wait till their HP is really, really high, and they've been making this mistake for a while, and then you throw out the haymaker. So what I see entrepreneurs doing is the complete opposite of this. They're constantly throwing out haymakers. One thing that's really popular with entrepreneurs is doing big dramatic launches. Big dramatic launch, big dramatic launch. So never warming up the tank. And I used to do this a lot. Or I'd go and launch a new product, because your solution is if things aren't going well, throw haymakers. And it doesn't work like that, because you constantly are throwing haymakers out when they're not ready to be thrown out. That's a problem. So for example, one thing that's worked very well for us at Hyros is instead of doing some big dramatic, hey, look at this big grand thing I have, I've just made this thing happen. Instead, for 6 months, all I did was just work with customers and talk to customers and work with my team. And I just worked with one customer one-on-one while managing customer support, and we're finding the software, and we just did that over and over and over again. So this would be kind of like Gary Vee's jab, jab, punch, except Instead of going out there and throwing a haymaker with the product, we kept working on the product. We kept warming it up. We kept toasting it. And we're still not at the point where I want to do a big giant launch for HiROS. We're actually now in like a beta launch phase where we're taking customers. The company's growing very well right now because the customers are happy. They're taken care of. Things have been prepped correctly. Because I'm not throwing haymakers. I'm not going and doing some event. I'm not writing a fucking book or something right now. I'm not making and trying to grow my YouTube channel and launch another product and launch another product like I see so many entrepreneurs do. Because they won't stop throwing haymakers. And the result is you keep throwing haymakers at inopportune times and they don't ever really take serious effect. If I throw a haymaker at HiROS, it's when everything and the stars and the moon are aligned. And that's the only time I'm going to throw a haymaker. Because just like in Super Smash Bros., if I throw a haymaker, whenever I see an opportunity to throw a haymaker, it's not going to land like I need it to. And after you throw that first haymaker, it becomes predictable. For example, in Super Smash Bros., if you throw that haymaker and you punch the person, they're going to be aware of it the next time. You throw it again, they're going to be super aware of it. You throw it a few more times, you're going to start getting punished for it. Same thing in business. Don't do it. So those are actually 6 lessons that I don't see people applying, that I've always had trouble applying, and I've known in the back of my head, and you probably know these things in the back of your head. And by pursuing getting good at 2 different things at the same time, it's just made me realize these are just absolute truths when it comes to improving. And by really obeying these truths, it's helped me immensely with growing my business, growing my team, and with just getting way more growth out of myself as a person. So you should do them. Let me know if you guys like videos like this, and I'll see you in the next one.